Hi everybody, it's Kia here from Car Bookkeeping Specialist. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I'm going to finish off this little series on VAT as part of our whole tax season. And we're going to be showing you how to calculate your own VAT return. So I just want to go through a few key points. First of all, you must keep all of your VAT invoices and receipts as evidence. This is exactly the same way you have to keep good records as a business owner anyway. It's just a little bit more intense and you need to be a little bit more careful when you are VAT registered and you're dealing with VAT in this way. It's important that with your sales, you're keeping records that show your gross amount, net amount, and VAT amount, and exactly the same with your expenses. The only things that you don't need to include in terms of your VAT reporting is any exempt supply. If the goods you're selling are exempt from VAT, then you probably won't need to do a VAT return anyway, unless you sell combination goods. But if the goods that you're buying, you buy some that are various VAT rates and some that are exempt, you don't include the exempt ones in your VAT return calculations. Now, you will be needing to use software, MTD compatible software, as I explained to you in the previous video, in order to complete your returns nowadays. I mean, if you're doing it yourself, you've got the software to do it for you, that's fine. But you do need to make sure, you need to be very careful when you're doing that, that you're putting the data in correctly, that you're recording in the correct accounts, you're categorizing your expenses correctly, you're doing your regular VAT reconciliations, and you're making sure that you're not submitting any errors, because that might lead you to be subject to fines and penalties and things like that. So I think being VAT registered is definitely one of those signs that you need to have an accountant or a bookkeeper do it for you. So just drop us a message and we can handle that. That's not a problem. The point of the VAT return is to help you calculate your input tax and your output tax. If your output tax is higher, it's the higher of the two, so that's the tax that you've charged on your sales, then you're going to pay the difference over to HMRC. If your input tax is higher, that's the tax that you've paid on your purchases, then HMRC will be making a payment to you. Now, VAT return can sometimes be a really scary thing to look at or to see or to deal with. And back in the days, it was actually horrendous. Personally, when I first started out, hated it, couldn't stand it. It took me probably a year to get the hang of a VAT return. So this is personally where I just advise you guys to get professional help, because I think for any new business owner to have to spend time fiddling with this nonsense is really not worth it. But I'm going to show it to you anyway, so that you do have the education and the understanding of how to do it for yourselves. In general, on a standard VAT return, you're going to see 9 boxes. You're going to see some details and explanations of what each box is for, but you will always see, it will literally say box 1, box 2, box 3, blah, 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 all the way to box 9, which makes it really easy because you're going to know immediately what needs to go in each box. Fantastic. And the boxes usually have lovely outlines on them, and they're very, black and whatever. So it's pretty clear. It's just a little bit intimidating, to be honest with you. Box 1 is the VAT during the period on sales and other outputs. That basically means what VAT have you had to charge on your sales, on your invoices, your sales receipts, and things like that. So what VAT have you charged your customers, your clients? And you put that figure in box 1. We're going to ignore box 2, and I'll come back to that later. And box 3 auto calculates for you. It says what's the total VAT due that you need to pay over to HMRC, and that's box 1 plus box 2. Box 4 is the VAT that you are reclaiming in the period on the purchases and other inputs, including acquisitions from EU member states. So that's your purchases, what you've bought. How much VAT did you pay? And you put that in box number 4. And then box number 5 nets them off against each other. It automatically calculates for you, so you don't even need to worry about it. It says what's the total inputs, what's the total outputs minus the total inputs. Hallelujah. Box 6 is the net amount, so the total value of sales and all the other outputs excluding VAT. That means the net amount of your sales. And box number 7 is the net amount of your purchases. And essentially, that's it. When it comes down to it, you need to be really focused on box number 5. And what does it say? If it's a positive number, you need to pay that amount over to HMRC. And if it's a negative number, then you will get a check in the post, probably within 2 or 3 weeks, with them paying you back whatever it is they owe you. Now, there's a reason that I skipped a couple of boxes here and I've left them empty. First of all, majority of you probably are not trading in the EU right now, or won't in general, or you're small businesses, and it's not really a concern for you. So I didn't want to talk about them too much and add a lot of confusion. Secondly, due to Brexit, which is now coming into force this year, there have been changes to how you deal with a VAT return if you're trading outside of the UK. So whereas previously you would have this box here, box number 2, box number 4, and boxes 8 and 9 is where you would put in your VAT or your net amounts for your trades with the EU states. Okay, now we still need to do that, but we also need to add them into boxes 1 and 4, and it gets really annoying and complicated. So if you are trading outside of the UK and you need help understanding how to create your VAT returns from now on, or what you need to submit and things like that, then please do get in touch. I will also add a link to how to do that into the guide on the VAT basics guides that I'm going to have as a free download for you guys, so you can actually go and find out the information for yourself. But if you do have questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm not going to go through it here because it gets complex, it gets annoying and messy, and it doesn't apply to very many of you. But I can help you out with that. That's not a problem. So that's basically it. It is really easy. It is intimidating, especially if you see it for yourself for the first time, if you're not using software or anything like that. But the basics, the bones of a VAT return is actually pretty simple. Income, VAT on sales, VAT on purchases, and what's the difference? And Bob's your uncle. It's that simple for the most part. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really hope you found these videos helpful so far. I'd really appreciate it if you like, comment, subscribe, follow, and share the videos with other people, and just so that they can get some benefit as well. And please remember to let me know in the comments what you want to see more of, what you found helpful. If I talk too fast, let me know so that I can keep improving as time goes on. And look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye.